Now, students, we go for understanding the one more set of tests as per your syllabus, which is nothing but the small sample tests. What type of tests are known as the small sample tests? The condition here is nothing but the sample size n. If n size is strictly less than 30, then all those samples are known as the small samples. And the tests whatever you perform on those small samples is known as the small sample tests. Now, if you compare the small sample test with that of the large sample test, the important observation is here is nothing but in the large sample test we assume that all the large samples follows normal distribution. But here what you are going to assume here, all the small samples from where actually you are drawing, that population is nothing but it's a normal distribution, and from the normal population whatever samples you are going to collect, those samples are going to follow the exact sampling distributions like T distribution. Yesterday we were discussing. So that is a very, very important point. There the sample itself the normal distribution in the case of large samples, but in the small sample test the population is the normal distribution. From the normal distribution population you are going to draw the samples for the study. Getting my point? Now, as far as the small sample tests are concerned, now we are going to understand exclusively about t-test. So this t-test is actually based upon the t distribution. Yesterday we were discussing x bar minus mu by s by root n minus 1, isn't it? T distribution. So based upon the t distribution you got the t-test. Again, the t-test has been divided into three types. In the first test we are going to compare the population mean with that of the given value. So here the null hypothesis is going to be in the first test mu is equal to any given value nu naught. Same way under the second test what you are doing, you are comparing two population means. How you are going to denote here? Mu1 is equal to mu2. So this is your second test. Okay. The third t-test exclusively known as paired t-test. What do you call this? The paired t-test. So here the null hypothesis is going to be h naught mu1 is equal to mu2. Why? The reason while understanding this test I will explain. Okay. So for time being you have to assume that the first test is test for single mean, the second test is test for double mean, the third one is the paired t-test. But remember that in these two tests the null hypothesis is the same. Okay. And after knowing the type of the test, now the testing procedure, just like our large sample test, here also what you are going to do, you are going to pick the what you call the test statistic. Test statistic, that means the formula. Okay. And you are calculating that value. So what you are calculating that value? So previously for all the large samples we used to consider the calculated value as what you call ZT. So what is that? ZC. And we used to compare that ZC, that is the calculated value of the Z, the standard normal distribution that of the table value. But here the t distribution. Okay. Now we are going to calculate the TT value, that means the t distribution table value, and compare with that of what you call the t distribution, what you called, I mean to say So we are going to compare the t distribution calculated value with the t distribution table value. And the decision making is same, just like our large sample test. If TC value is less than or equal to TT value, what you are going to perform, you are going to accept the null hypothesis as correct. If TC value is greater than TT value, so what is the decision making? You are going to reject the null hypothesis. Understand? And also, if you want, you can write fiducial limits also. So just like the large sample test, here also you can write the fiducial limits. Only thing under the small sample test you need to remember is to identify whether the problem falls under small sample or not. How it is going to be evident? By the sample size. And after that you need to select the what you call the suitable formula. And as usual, you need to calculate the t distribution value and you need to compare with that of the table value. The decision making will be as usual the same, but in the small sample test you are going to calculate one more very important value, what to call this, the degrees of freedom. So yesterday we were discussing, so what do you mean by degrees of freedom? So the degrees of freedom values, you are comparing that of the given LOS value. What is LOS? Alpha percent critical values, and based upon that you are going to get the table value. Only difference is here is nothing but the degrees of freedom, and formula are going to change. So what do you call this? The small sample test. So let us see the testing procedure of the first test. This is the first test under small sample test. So what is this? N is strictly less than 30. So what is the test name? Test for the population mean, or else test for the significant difference between the sample mean and the population mean. That means you are comparing the single population with that of the given value of the mean. So what is the null hypothesis? H naught mu is equal to mu naught. Same just like our large sample test. Only thing is formula are going to change. H naught, the population mean is equal to a specified value. Alternative hypothesis. So theoretically, what is the standard format of the alternative hypothesis for proof? So immediately you write down the not equal to. So what is the statement? The population mean is not equal to specified value. But as far as the test statistic, for small sample test there are two cases. So that is based upon the problem, you need to choose that formula. Now let us see here the case 1. So what is the case 1? So in the given problem, if the population variance value is given, then the formula is going to be like this. Z is equal to x bar minus mu naught by sigma by root n, which follows n01. Strictly speaking, this is called our large sample test single mean formula. Once you see, that means in the large sample test single mean formula, this formula both are same whenever the population variance is given. And the table value, what you are going to compare with that of the what you call, just like our large sample test, with that of the normal distribution values. Be careful. So whenever sigma square is known, the entire problem solution is just like our test for single mean of the large samples, even decision making also. But whenever the sigma square, that is the population variance, is not known, now you get the new formula. So what is the new formula? Same, x bar minus mu naught. Instead of sigma, that is population standard deviation, what you are writing here, the sample standard deviation you are writing, small s. So instead of square root of n, we have to remember we are considering the degrees of freedom also. That's why here what is the division? divided by under the square root degrees of freedom. So which follows a T distribution, not the normal distribution, but with how many degrees of freedom? With n minus 1 degrees of freedom. So from the sample size you need to subtract 1. Let us suppose the sample size is 15. So 15 minus 1 means 14. So at T14, at T distribution 14, you need to look for the table value. That's why degrees of freedom is very, very important in the case of the small sample test. So how do you read that? T is equal to x bar minus mu naught by small s by square root of n minus 1, which follows T distribution n minus 1. So yesterday in the T distribution explanation, we came to know that the S square is unbiased population estimator. So what is the formula for unbiased population estimator? This is capital S square. Nothing but n by n minus 1 S square. So instead of taking capital S square, in order to get in the formula small s, so we have applied this relation. In order to understand this relation, just for knowing the logic behind getting this yes, I am giving you that explanation. But you know how to calculate yes. Yes means the standard deviation. Sigma xi square by n minus x bar whole square under square root. That formula you are going to apply. So that means under the test for single mean of the small sample test, two formulae are there, two cases are there. Case 1, when sigma square is known. In this case, everything is just like our large sample test. But the case 2, when the population variance is not given, so instead of population's SD, we are considering the sample SD. That means for the sample we calculate the standard deviation, that value we are substituting, and also instead of square root of n here, what you are putting? Square root of n minus 1. Now how to take the decision? For every case, different procedure will be there. Here, the table value is going to be the normal distribution table value, just like our large samples. But here the table value is going to be the T distribution table value. So let us see the decision. Now see here in the case 1, how to make the decision? If modulus of ZC, that means calculated value of this, is less than or equal to Z alpha by 2, means the table value, we accept H0, otherwise we reject. So I actually cut short the big decision making sentence. So what is that one more sentence? I actually did not mention here. You can imagine. So what is the one more, what you call one more situation arises? If modulus of Z greater than Z alpha by 2, we reject H0. So whenever this not happens, that only is going to happen. So that meaning is underlined, so you need not to confuse. So within the single sentence, I actually concluded how to make the decision. But case 2 you see. So what is the distribution you are using? You need to calculate the degrees of freedom also. So here what is that? The value of the test statistic is calculated. That is ZT. That is TT. And compared with the two-tailed table value of the student T distribution. So student T distribution, table values are available, I will show you. Okay. At n minus 1 degrees of freedom, at given alpha percent LOS, I mean to say 5%, 10%, 1% like that. If modulus of T, that is calculated value, TC, if you want you can write TC also, less than or equal to Tn minus 1, that is a table value, we accept H0. If modulus of T, if you want you can write TC greater than Tn minus 1, reject H0. So here in this decision making there is no change. Only thing what has been changing the distribution, T distribution. So what do you call this? The test for single mean. That means the population is compared to the any given value under the small sample test. This is the test one. Okay. Now let us go for an example under test for single mean under small sample test. Now, what is the question? The weights of 16 bags of rice taken as a sample are 50, 50, 59, 52, 44, like 46 kgs. Can it be regarded that average weight of the rice bag is greater than 50 kgs? This is the question. Now, whenever the problem is given to you, testing hypothesis problems, the first point you need to remember is the problem falls under the large sample test or the small sample test. First, you need to answer this question. Now, what is the sample size here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So, 16 is the sample size. So 16 is less than 30. That means the problem falls under the small sample test. Point 1 is over. Now point 2. So under small sample test, there are 3 tests. One is test for single mean. The second one is test for double means. The third one is test for comparison of the what you call test for the paid means. Now here if you see only single population is there. That is the rice bags population. Okay, so this is the sample size of the rice bags, and randomly one rice bag picked. Okay, so all the population rice bags can be considered as greater than 50 kgs. So you are comparing the population with that of the given mean value. That indicates that it's the problem of what you call single mean. Okay. So here the word average is there. And also before itself, what is the type of the hypothesis you are going to get? Because the null hypothesis means no question of confusion. So just like whatever the notation is there, same thing you are writing over there. But the alternative hypothesis is going to change here. Whether the alternative hypothesis is of one-tailed, two-tailed. Now what is that word greater than? So this indicates that the alternative hypothesis is going to be one-tailed alternative hypothesis. Getting my point? Now, let us go for our usual steps. What is that? Writing the null hypothesis, writing the alternative hypothesis. And before that, here the population variance is given, not given. So case 1 is not applicable. So absolutely the case 2, that is t distribution, you are going to apply. Now let us go for usual steps. What is the null hypothesis? H naught mu is equal to mu naught. So what is the mu naught value here? The 50. So you need not to write the units here. What is that? The average weight of the rice bags can be regarded as 50. Always sentence should match with notation. Now alternative hypothesis. So greater than 50. So how to write that? Okay. More than 50 means the symbol is going to be greater than. See that. So this is absolutely now one-tailed test. So it can be regarded as average weight of the rice bags is greater than 50 kgs. The sentence matching with that of the notation. No confusion. Now, there is no population variance. Hence, we are going to calculate the sample variance, that is small s square. For that, we consider the root value. From that root value, you will get what we call sample standard deviation. So, what is the formula for sample variance? Sigma xi square by n minus x bar whole square. You take the square root, you will get the sample standard deviation. Okay. Now, so this is the formula. statistic, that is t is equal to x bar minus mu by s by root n minus 1, which follows t distribution n minus 1 degrees of freedom. What is mu here? Nothing but the given value. If you want, you can write mu naught also. What is that? 50. What is x bar? Calculate the mean of the given sample. So sum of all the values by number of values, because this is the individual series. Sigma xi by n. So in the first unit you came to know for the individual series how to get the mean, how to get the variance, standard deviation, all these things. Now, so what is the mean? Summation of xi by n. So what is the value you got here? 51.0625. The mu value, given value, what is that? 50. Now how do you get the sample standard deviation? S is equal to under square root x square by n minus x bar whole square. So what is the value? 0.4. What is the value? 4.8665793. Now this is very important calculation. Degrees of freedom. So in all the small sample tests, every time we need to calculate the degrees of freedom. So what is the sample size here? 16. So in the question. So 16 minus 1, 15. Okay. Now let us get all the answers, table value and as well as the calculated t value. Now we go for the second small sample test. What is that? The test for equality of two population means. The testing procedure is same just like large sample test. Only thing is the formula will change. You need to remember that. Okay. So what is that? The null hypothesis, because comparing two population means. So mu1 is equal to mu2. Same way, what is the alternative hypothesis? H1 mu1 is not equal to mu2. But here you are going to get different cases, just like our small sample test of single population. So what is the case 1? So whenever the population variances of two populations are given, that is known, then the formula is going to be just like our large sample test formula. That means in the large sample test you already by hearted this formula. So here the decision making purpose, what distribution you need to use now? The normal distribution only. That is x bar minus y bar by square root of sigma 1 square by n1 plus sigma 2 square by n2, which follows n01. I think in the large samples here we have given the notations x1 bar minus x2 bar. Both are same only. Not to confuse, instead of x1 bar, x2 bar, here what I wrote, x bar, y bar, that's it. Same formula. Now what is the case 2? So the case 2 means the population variance are known, given, but all are equal. Again, the large sample test method only we apply here. X bar minus y bar by sigma 1 by n1 plus 1 by n2, which follows n01. But case 3 is very important. So whenever the normal distribution form is there, we apply decision making method based upon the normal table values. But in the case 3, so what is that? Not known. So then you are going to get the unbiased estimate, S, capital S. Then what is the distribution? It is going to follow T distribution. T is equal to x bar minus y bar by capital S under square root 1 by n1 plus 1 by n2, which follows. Now how many degrees of freedom? Because two samples are there. From every sample, if you subtract one number, so n1 plus n2 minus 2. So these are the degrees of freedom. You need to by heart this. Now how do you get the S? So n1 s1 square plus n2 s2 square by n1 plus n2 minus 2. So s1 square s2 squares are sample variances. If you want, you can use this formula, or directly this formula also you can use. Now, this is entirely T distribution. Hence, we need to calculate the degrees of freedom also. Now, what is the decision making is going to be? So, table, the calculated value compare with T distribution table value at how many degrees of freedom. So, under single test means n minus 1, but here the comparison of the test. Hence, what is that? n1 plus n2 minus 2 degrees of freedom at given LOS. If mod T less than or equal to n1 plus n2 minus 2, accept H0, otherwise reject H0. So this is the testing procedure for small samples. That to what test for comparison of the means. Okay. So let us see this example. Test for equality of two population means under small samples. The samples of two types of electric bulbs gave the following data regarding the length of life. So sample size, two samples. First sample 8, second sample 7. Average life, that means x bar 1, 2, 3, 4 hours, y bar 1036 hours. Sample standard deviation. S1 36 hours, S2 40 hours. Both 8, 7 means less than 30. That means it's a small sample test. Okay. That to two population means comparison is there. Can it be regarded that type 1 bulbs are superior to type 2 bulbs as far as the length of life is concerned? So mean value is given. According to the mean value, which is the best one? So again the comparative word is there, superior. So this indicates that the alternative hypothesis is going to be one-tailed test. Okay. Now let us see the solution of the problem. Now as usual, so what is our null hypothesis? H0 mu1 is equal to mu2. The two types of bulbs are equal in terms of the average, their length of life is concerned. Average length of life is concerned. In that way also you can write. Because the given information is of averages only. But what is the alternate hypothesis? The first sample, second sample. So first sample is more than second sample. So what is that? Bajaj bulbs, Crompton bulbs. So H1, alternative hypothesis, type 1 bulbs superior to the type 2 bulbs. So only sample standard deviation is given. Hence we are going to apply T distribution formula. T is equal to x bar minus y bar by s square root of 1 by n1 plus 1 by n2. With how many degrees of freedom? n1 plus n2 minus 2. So given that x bar, y bar, all the details, but how do you get s square you are going to get? So we are using n1 s1 square plus n2 s2 square by n1 plus n2 minus 2. Square root of this you get s. What is s? 40.73. Now substitute in the T distribution. So 12 that is 1234 minus 1036. whole divided by 4 0.73 under square root 1 by 8 plus 1 by 7. So on simplification we get 9.39. So based upon the sign, what is that test? One-tailed test. But what are the degrees of freedom? 8 plus 7. First sample size 8 and 1 plus second sample size 7 and 2 minus 2. Minus 2 is the constant. So 8 plus 7 minus 2. 15 minus 2. So how much you will get? 13. Again at 5%. So here let us go for a change. At 1% I will check. What is the table value? Okay. Let us go for the t distribution table values. Okay. So one-tailed test 1%. Okay. For how many degrees of freedom? So this line goes like this. 13. Okay. So 2.650. So what is that value? 2.650. If you want, you can write 0 also. 2.650. If you are confusing, I write 0 also. Now calculated value is there, table value is there. Here itself we can say we blindly going to reject the null hypothesis because calculated value is more than that of the table value. So let us see what happened in the decision making. So finally what is the conclusion? 9.39 more than that of 2.65. That is, we reject H0. We reject H0. So indirectly, what is the meaning of that? We accept H1. So conclusion, what is that? Type 1 bulbs are superior to type 2 bulbs. Yes, the quality of the type 1 bulbs, the quality of the Bajaj bulbs is more with that of what we call the Crompton Greaves bulbs. Such a way you can apply these tests in the production areas. Okay. So this is the application of the test for double means and a small sample test. Okay. I stop here. Thank you.